Fortnite Shock and Awesome has been out for a little while now, and what started off as another solid season launch has quickly led some players to feeling annoyed, frustrated, or possibly worst of all, bored. I wanted to take some time today to discuss the bumps we've hit on our road trip through Chapter 6 Season 4, give you my thoughts on what has occurred so far, and discuss the question on everybody's mind: did this season fall off? Let's begin. So there are a lot of strong opinions about Shock and Awesome so far, but one thing that has been kind of echoing from the beginning of the season up until now is it is too damn hard to shoot other players. It's bad enough dealing with the movement players with Flowberry Fizz or Crashpad Juniors, Shockwave Grenades, etc. But when you factored in the medallions this season, it got even worse. And if the player you were going up against happened to be hacking, they were able to perform acrobatic feats that would make the Ringling brothers blush, all while hitting you with pinpoint accuracy. It left a lot of players angry. How are we supposed to counter this? Now at this point, the medallions have come and gone and possibly may come back again, who knows. By the time I make this video, they're probably back out there. But that, coupled with the plethora of movement items in the game, has made things very difficult for those who are, let's say, a little lacking when it comes to aiming, myself included. Giving players the ability to super speedy slide across the map, chasing down other players and then double jumping over them once they got a few shots on you was admittedly a lot of fun, but it was always a pain to go up against it. When you did not have the medallions, you were not having a good time. It usually made the game feel very one-sided, like whoever collected the medallions was almost guaranteed to get the win if they didn't choke or get caught out. Grabbing the 3 medallions early in the season was basically like collecting all of the Dragon Balls. You could get a wish immediately from Shenron for the Victory Royale. Even now, with the medallions iced, the Flowberry Fizz, Crashpad Juniors, and Shockwave Grenades made zipping around the map a absolute breeze. There was also the Shockwave Launcher, which allowed you to launch yourself or enemies just like the grenades do, but you could use explosive ammo. This is a great item and I had a lot of fun playing around with it, but admittedly it was a little oppressive, which is why it was temporarily removed from the game, but I think it is returning here soon with a legendary variant exclusively. When you factor all of this in, alongside the vehicles on the map, which have been an endgame crutch for many players since at least the time I started playing the game, it can sometimes feel almost impossible to take fights or win a fight if you don't catch someone completely off guard in the open. Even then, in some instances, they can zip away before you even realized what happened. Now, I'm sure the movement gods and aim-trained warriors are having no issue with this faster-paced gameplay this season, but I can only imagine that Fortnite dads or people who don't have a whole lot of time to put into practicing are extremely frustrated at this point. Here's hoping we get a little better balance as the season goes on. Another thing that players seem to be getting tired of is actually one of the main selling points of this season: the irritating insects that have invaded the island. As someone who spent a lot of time playing PvE games, I actually enjoy this side objective of clearing bug nests, especially since it's the best way to rank up quickly. But the common sentiment from the community seems to be that it is not that engaging, and usually ends up being more trouble than it's worth, especially now that the medallions are vaulted so you can't even get those from the queens. Personally, I like this edition of the game. It gives this season a unique vibe and identity, and clearing out bug nests is a great way to get some awesome loot, but you have to keep your head on a swivel so other players do not walk up on you. I really like that added dimensionality to the gameplay. I like the pressure it brings, but I can definitely see why it is frustrating to some players. Personally, in my opinion, this is just this season's version of cracking open vaults or completing superhero training. It's the flavor of the season. It gives it a distinct feel. You don't have to engage with it if you don't want to. It's not absolutely necessary, but in my opinion, as somebody who's played a lot of live service games, this objective style is only going to be around for this season, so you might as well indulge in it while it's here. Plus, we need your help. The OXR needs you on the front lines pushing back the bug bastards. Overall, I'm excited to see what Epic Games continues to roll out this season. I think that they have set up a really fun sandbox for us to play in with some great items and weapons. The roly-poly vehicles are pretty interesting, even though I don't think we need another method of people escaping fights added to the map at this point. Being able to laser guide rockets into enemy players, call down orbital laser strikes on bases, or just trying to quickly and efficiently clear a hive before an enemy player walks up on you gives me such a rush. These are the bigger over-the-top objectives that I like about Fortnite. I love that they deliver this, and it's just so cool in my opinion that we always have some new objective to look forward to each and every season. Sure, it may not be your favorite. I personally don't like it as much as cracking into vaults with Lawless, but I can't deny that I'm having a good time doing all of this. I'm having fun with the Shock and Awesome season, but that's just my personal take. If you're feeling a little burnt out or like you've had enough, there's no shame in putting the game down for now and returning once we move on to the next season. It feels like we always get to this point about halfway through the season where people are asking,
did it fall off? Is this season the worst one yet?
And overall, I think personally we're just seeing the natural progression of a season in any live service game, not just Fortnite. Some people will really enjoy what it has to offer, while others get tired of it and wish it was like older seasons in the past. There's nothing wrong with that. Neither viewpoint is inherently wrong per se. Different strokes for different folks and all that. But I think that it would be disingenuous at this point to say that the Shock and Awesome season has fallen off or is getting stale. Personally, I will wait until everything is really wrapped up and give them the chance to show us what they have before I make my final judgments. But for what it's worth, I'm having a great time so far. Only time will tell how this season compares to the rest of Chapter 6, but I for one am having a great time each and every time I can log into the game. And if I'm being honest with you, if the leaks are true about the next mini-season we're getting, yeah, I kind of hope we hang on to this season for as long as possible, if I'm being honest. Here's to what else Shock and Awesome has to offer for us. And if nothing else, we can always look forward to Fortnitemares. This will be my first Fortnitemares event, and as a huge horror movie fan, I am so excited to check that out. At the end of the day, though, that's just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Are you a fan of the season thus far, or is Shock and Awesome a flop in your opinion? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel so you are up to date on any and all of our future videos. We're trying to reach 2,000 subs by the end of the year, and any and all help you guys could give me with that goal would be greatly appreciated. Make sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. I'm Haunted House, and remember to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I will see you in the next one, friends.